Hello everyone, welcome back to another hologram guide. Today we will be going over the new hologram, Lady of the Sea, formerly known as Mia, the boss from Lupa's 2.5 story quest. This will go over the hologram's moveset and how to approach their attacks by either dodging or parrying. Before we get into her moveset, I'm going to abbreviate Lady of the Sea to LOTS because it's a mouthful to say. Besides that, LOTS is resistant to arrow damage, so she will take 40% less damage. There will be subtle differences in movesets in the lower difficulties, which I will include. This hologram does not have many moves, so there is less to memorize. However, they are just as annoying as their sibling counterpart, Morning Ikes. With all that said, let's get started on the guide. In the beginning of the hologram fight, there are two differences on how the hologram starts depending on the difficulty. In difficulties 4 and lower, the hologram will immediately attack you by doing a spin attack, fly up in the air, and do another spin attack. For the timing, I recommend dodging immediately for the first spin attack. When LOTS goes for the second spin attack, a black and white light will appear at the tail. Once you see this light circle appear, dodge. In difficulties 5 and 6, LOTS won't do an immediate attack, but will charge an AoE attack. The timing is basically the same. Look for the black and white light at the head. Once you see the light circle appear, or if you see the water glow brighter, dodge. A common attack the hologram will do is when she goes up in the air and comes down to do a swipe. She will then put a hazard on the floor which will explode and follow up with 2 swipes from the right and left side. There are slight differences in difficulties. In difficulty 4 and lower, she will put an AoE hazard on the floor that will explode. The timing of the hazard exploding is when the water turns brighter like this. I recommend moving away as the dodge timing for this is a bit weird with the upcoming attacks. LOTS will swipe twice from the right side to the left. Once the light circle appears, dodge for each attack. For difficulties 5 and 6, the hologram will do the same thing, but the AoE hazard will have a circle in the middle. Once the circle turns red, it will explode and spawn 2 tornadoes that will cycle 2 times before disappearing. Dodge once the circle turns red. Usually you can dodge the explosion and you'll be safe from the tornadoes. However, I would move away in case you get hit by the tornadoes. Once you dodge the explosion or tornadoes, get ready to dodge the hologram's swipes. They will both have a light circle that appears, and that is the time to dodge the attacks. Once the swipe finishes, LOTS has the chance to do a parry attack, which she grabs you and basically Ohko your resonator. If you delay your dodge attack enough, you can time the parry. If you think you can't, just dodge instead. This attack will be a bit harder to see, but LOTS will raise her body up and then go low to do a tail swipe. Then LOTS will float higher and summon 5 orb projectiles to shoot towards you and do a tail swipe at the same time. This is basically the same attack as the intro attack for difficulties 4 and lower, but with the projectiles. The dodge timing is when LOTS lowers their body like this. Dodge, as this attack is very quick. Once LOTS floats up in the air for a bit and finishes summoning the projectiles, a black and white light will appear and wait until you see this light circle to appear and then dodge. You may need to do an additional dodge for the projectiles if you don't use dodge attack iframes. Now, LOTS can do 2 versions of a backwards tail somersault. One, a red flash will appear on the head of LOTS, then will do a somersault. The timing is when you see this black and white light appear, dodge immediately as this attack is pretty fast, or wait until you see this white circle appear. Not dodging this attack will send you up in the air and basically Ohko your character. You can get out of this if you have Concerto ready, just intro skill to your other resonators. 2, LOTS won't have a red flash, but instead just default to having a black and white light on her tail. Once you see this white circle, dodge. LOTS will do a secondary somersault and is basically the same dodge timing. Now, there is a chance LOTS can do an additional attack. If you see another black and white light on her face, dodge immediately as LOTS will shoot a water beam towards you. When LOTS screams like this, LOTS will do a combo attack. Now this attack is different on difficulties 4 and lower. For difficulties 4 and lower, LOTS will swipe on the right side. Get ready to dodge when this light appears, and once you see this light circle, dodge. LOTS will circle again to swipe again. Dodge once you see this light circle again. Then LOTS will soar high and will do a slam. Timing is the same. Once you see this light circle, dodge. For higher difficulties, LOTS will do the same thing but will add projectiles. After the first swipe, LOTS will summon 3 projectiles to shoot towards you. Dodge the swipe and do an additional dodge if there are still projectiles coming towards you. Then LOTS will summon 2 more projectiles to shoot towards you. Dodge the first projectile and then the slam. Right after the slam, LOTS will put a hazard on the floor and wait until the circle turns red and then dodge. This will make the hazard explode and summon tornadoes. The hazard still exists and will explode again once the water glows brighter. I would be careful here because lots will do an attack right after the explosion, so I recommend dodging away so you can react to the next attack. When Lots flies away and then turns back with a black and white light, it will shoot a water beam towards you. The timing to dodge is when you see this white circle. Now, there are two versions of this attack. In difficulties 4 and lower, the beam will shoot to your left, to your right, and then to your left, and then shoot the beam upwards. You can simply dodge and dodge attack to move under Lots. In difficulties 5 and higher, the beam will shoot the same, however there will be explosions trailing the beam. So if you are far away from Lots, you will need to dodge the explosions to close the distance. Now, the second version of this attack is that Lots will shoot a left and a right water beam. She will cross the two lasers, leaving a trail of explosions. Once you see this white circle, dodge towards Lots. Once the attack ends, Lots will come down and do a slam attack. The dodge timing is the same. Once you see this white circle, dodge. Now, if you see Lots glow brighter, it will usually retreat closer to the middle because it's too far away. Lots most of the time will shoot a water wave towards you. You can simply move left or right to move away. Do not try to dodge the water wave as you will get caught in it regardless. If you get caught by the wave, try not to dodge inside the wave because you can't get out either way. Instead, wait until the water wave pushes you a good distance, and then when it starts to fall to the ground, dodge. If you end up dodging thinking it will damage you, it is a bait. If you double dodge while in the water wave, you will end up taking damage due to dodge cooldown. If Lots floats a bit higher and starts to twist the body, it will do a torpedo towards you. You can dodge this when you see this white circle appear. There is an alternate version of this where Lots does 3 spins. Although it's uncommon, it will spin and place hazards trailing the torpedo attack. Just move away from the line of hazards. It will do this 2 more times, and once it gets to the 3rd time, it will spin towards you and then stop to do a slam. A good indication is when this hazard explodes, dodge the slam. Lots will go closer to the ground and will do a swipe on the right side. Once you see this white circle, dodge. Once the swipe goes through, she will put a hazard in front of her. Either dodge or move away from the hazard. She will then shoot a water wave towards you, which again, just move to the side, which is very easy to dodge. If Lots lifts herself higher like this, she'll start to do another combo. She'll lift her hand on the right side and slam the ground, then slam on the left side. She'll then rotate 360 to do a vertical swipe from the left side and then slam on the left side again. Right after the combo, Lots will do a scream attack that lasts about 4 dodges or 3 dodges including counterattacks. Timing for each attack is when you see the white circle. For the scream, once you see this black and white flash, dodge immediately as this attack is instant. If Lots floats and twirls like this, she will do a parry attack. The first twirl, she will summon 2 projectiles to shoot towards you, then do another twirl and summon 2 more projectiles to do her parry attack. Parrying this attack is tricky because you have to dodge projectiles, but if you dodge and delay your counterattack long enough so that your iframes eat the projectiles, you can parry her. Now, for each projectile your character doesn't dodge or eat in iframes, they will leave a hazard on the ground. Be careful if you are under Lots with the hazards, as the timing will be different for each projectile. Lots will sometimes fly back and summon 12 projectiles. Basically, Lots will rain projectiles towards the ground and towards you. Pretty easy to dodge once the projectile flies towards you. Lots' last attack is when you deplete half of her HP, or once 2 minutes and 30 seconds pass, she will take reduced damage and fly around the arena. A black orb will spawn in the middle and spawn 3 waves of water waves. It will consist of 2 to 3 water waves per wave. During this time, I recommend moving away from the middle to avoid the water waves. While this is happening, Lots will spawn about 11 to 12 projectiles to shoot towards you. Dodge the projectiles and move closer, but not too close to the middle of Lots. Lots will gather energy, condense it into a diamond, and then explode the entire arena. Once you see this light, dodge immediately and the arena will cleanse itself of the dark waters. Then a huge circle will spawn under Lots, and once the circle turns red, it will explode and spawn 6 large tornadoes that will expand to the outside of the arena and then back to the middle. Lots will fall to the ground for about 5 seconds, which is a free DPS window. The 2 things you can do: get the DPS window, dodge the tornadoes, and then move out of the middle to avoid the tornadoes, or you can stay in the middle, dodge the tornadoes while fighting Lots to do the max DPS. Either one works depending on how risky you want to play. These tornadoes disappear after 6 cycles of coming back in and coming back out. this concludes the Lot's hologram. There isn't anything new after she does the big attack. I honestly think this hologram is kind of annoying because of the projectiles, and especially the scream attack after doing her slam combo. I don't think this hologram is too bad, but it can get annoying. Hope this guide helps for anyone that's trying to attempt the higher difficulties, and hopefully I didn't miss anything. If you like this guide, give it a like and sub for more content like this or other content I do. Thanks.